Hey guys, it's Mike with Redneck Politics, where real American voices matter. Well, I guess we're at a spot that it just seemed like it's getting crazier and crazier with this Epstein thing. I have made several videos uh, on the subject. Um, I have stated plenty times, and I'll say it now, that Trump was involved with Epstein going as far back as the 90s. They were best friends, they were tight. I mean, every one of us has had best friends, every one of us. And there's things that you do sometimes with your best friends, and you even know them sometimes better than their spouses know them. But for years, it was a game to them. It was a competition. It was a bet of who could sleep with who could get who. Um, Trump and Epstein go way back. I mean, they were very tight. They were playboys. They had plenty of money. And as most bachelors do, you know, they chase the girls, especially when you got the kind of money and fame that they have. The only difference was the ages of the girls is what comes into question. And there is ample evidence that there were a plenty of young ladies involved that were under the age of 18. Um, you know, Trump has been also identified as being one of the perpetrators in I know of one case that never went anywhere, and it's a girl by the name of Johnson. Now that's a fictitious name, and it's this needs to be. But in 2016, she had come out with these charges that Trump and Epstein had raped her when she was 13 years old. And this was during the time that he was running for president the first time. And it was just right after the Access Hollywood deal, and it was already looking bad on Trump as it was. And now this was fixing to drop, and they did everything they could. They booed this girl up, they scared her, they threatened her, they did everything they could, and they succeeded in shutting her up. And this was a girl who said when she was 13, and she said it specifically, that it was Epstein and Trump. Now, I'm sure if Trump was sitting here, he'd say that's a bald-faced lie. But he says that about every fucking thing. It really don't matter, because we know the son of a bitch is lying. You know, there are things right now that he could actually be charged for if he was not the president of the United States. Matter of fact, if he didn't win the election, he would have been already in prison. I guarantee it, because Jack Smith was fixing to crawl up his ass and snatch his guts out, because he had him dead to rights. He had all the emails, he had all the conversations. I mean, you've got the people like Johnson. Johnson was supposed to deliver, which is, I think, Wisconsin is where Johnson is, his senator. Uh, he was the one that was trying to take the fake electors straight to Pence. But Pence's aides, they stopped it. They didn't let him nowhere near Pence, because Pence had already said, I cannot and will not, do what you're requesting me to do. And that's to try to steal the election by fraud. Trump, that's why I am so adamant about Trump running for another third term, because there are still things out here that can get him put in jail. Now, there's only two things that can happen with that. Is if he gets voted out of office, either A, they hope like hell that if it's J.D. Vance that's going to run for president for the Republican Party, if it's him, he'll just pardon Trump. I'll be over it. That's why I swore from get-go, Trump is not he's not going to be held accountable for what has happened to these survivors at all. You got one girl by the name of Farmer who filed a complaint 30 years ago. Now think about that. 30 years ago. If it was one of us, if it wasn't anybody other than Donald Trump, the king, we would be sitting in prison. But see, the law is different for Trump, right? He's above the law. He either Vance or any Republican for that matter gets voted in, they're going to call for the pardon. And the only way they might win is if they cheat. And I'm telling you right now, straight to your face, looking at you, they will cheat. Trump has got way too much to lose in this fight to play fair. He's not going to. So we've got to stay on top of these elections. Just like every American out there, we want a true, just elections. You know, they keep coming up with these different ideas and different things. One says no photo ID. The other one says yes photo ID. One says no to mail-in ballots. The other one says yes to mail-in ballots. And really, I think Congress needs to get this shit straight once for all to be able to keep any type of fraud out of our elections, period. But everybody right now, all across podcast arenas, are reporting on this. And I knew it. I have been saying, I have said it 2 or 3 times on different videos that this man is guilty of what he did. He is a child molester. He is no different than Epstein. The only difference between him and Epstein's dead and Trump's alive. But you see, back in the day, there were 3 of them. You had Trump, who had the Miss Teen pageants. Remember that? You had Trump, who had the Miss America pageants. You remember that? Osteen was involved with the Victoria's Secret models. This was at the same time now. And then you had another fellow by the name of Brunel. He had a modeling agency for younger girls. And that's how they were coming across a lot of the girls that they did. Well, Brunel, he finally got busted. And like Epstein, he committed suicide in jail. It's just kind of hard to understand, especially for Epstein. The man, he had no reason to commit suicide. What the fuck for? He done beat this shit one time, got a slap on the wrist. He had billions and billions of dollars. He could hire the best damn attorneys in the world and drag it out till hell comes back. So you really think that this man killed himself? I don't think he had no reason to. Just like Brunel. I don't know as much about Brunel as I do Epstein and Trump. But still, he was involved in this and involved with this modeling agency. And he had his own connections and his own money. But yet he ended up dead in jail. So out of the 3 people, Brunel, Epstein, and Trump, they all 3 were conspiring to meet these underage girls. That is a conspiracy in itself. Even if you didn't catch him red-handed with a girl or see any information stating that he stated he was with a girl, he was still part of the conspiracy, people. He is guilty. The hard part is going to be being able to try to convict him for these crimes, especially if the Republican parties do like they always do and support Trump no matter what. I don't know how the victims will feel about that, or even the rest of America. But guys, this is no joking matter. These girls deserve their day in court. They said that there's 20 other co-conspirators. Man, redact all the victims' names, every one of them, but give us them goddamn co-conspirators, because that's what we're looking for. That's who we want. And my question is, why in the hell are they trying to protect that? Well, you know why. I mean, they all think we're stupid. He's got all his little puppets put in each cabinet so he can tell them how to do things and what to do. See, last time he learned because he got some of the best people who had the most experience into these positions. Well, this time, the only thing that qualified with him for them was A, you got to kiss my ass, B, you got to suck my dick, and C, you follow my rules. That's it. That's what he requires. And they're all doing it quite professionally. But I'm telling you now, and I hope I'm dead wrong, but Steve Bannon is all over the internet saying that Trump is going to run and win 2028. He is so confident about this that it makes me wonder, what do they already have in motion? What's already happening right now that is convincing them of this? Because right now, Trump's approval rating is down to 31%. It's a fucking joke. And what he's done to us in his second term, and I'm not talking about just blue states, I'm not talking about just Democrats, I'm talking about red states and Republicans. Trump, he's got a lot to lose in this. But we need justice. We need justice. And there's no way, I don't think, that Trump, even if he does a fair election, and the only way he can run is first of all, the Republicans have to have the House and they got to have the Senate. Right now they have both. But in the midterms, that's all liable to change. And the reason why it's going to change is because the American people are seeing the bullshit that he's doing now. They are actually feeling it. And like I said, it don't matter what state you're in, don't matter what whether you're left, right, in the center, it don't matter. But they're going to try to change that law. So we need our Congress to stay on point. We need people. If you see something out of character, if something don't make sense, we got to start bringing this shit to the light, man. Because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to have Trump rig the 2028 election and become president of the United States again. Is that what you really fucking want? He's already going, they already believe that he's going to try to rig the 2026 midterms, because if it's in favor of the Democrats the way they say it is, then it's going to be a blue tsunami. And the Republicans are going to win hands down. And they should take the House for sure. I don't know what's going to happen with the Senate yet. There's some close races there. But the main thing is Trump is all part of this. He's had all these all these FBI agents go in and redact everything that had his name on it. Just trying to cover it up, just trying to muddy the waters. And that's what he's been successfully doing all this time. Well, guys, I want to get on here and talk about it today because I've heard a lot of the stuff going on. I wasn't even going to approach the Epstein thing again. But I figured, I needed to. Epstein and Trump, when they were running together, these were guys that were rich playboys. Yes, they should have been dating women. They actually thought it was a game. They thought this was something they'd get away with. And they probably would have if Trump would have never run for president. I could never understand that anyway, because I've known Trump almost all our lives. We've known who Trump is, you know. But guys, I appreciate it. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful holiday. I hope everything turned out well for you and your family. If you can, please hit the like, the alert, and the subscribe. I don't have a team. Nobody does this but me by myself. Uh, I take no money from no one. I do this out of the compassion of my heart because I really believe in what I'm doing. So if y'all could, subscribe to my channel for more content like this and hit that alert button, we would greatly appreciate it. We thank y'all. Much love. Have a good day.